welcome to the channel. If you have an Electrolux front-loading washing machine and it gives you an error code like E10, E11, or E12, or it just won't fill with water, then you're experiencing a very common issue that happens with these machines. But don't despair, it's very easy to fix, and I'm about to show you exactly how to do it. So the first thing you'll want to do is unplug the unit, move it away from the wall, and shut off the water supply. Then disconnect the water hoses from the inlet valve, and I usually drop the ends into a bucket to catch the water that's left in the lines. Next, you'll want to remove these two screws from the cabinet top using a Phillips head screwdriver, or better yet, a number 2 square driver. Electrolux, GE, and Frigidaire use a lot of square and Phillips combination fasteners on their machines, and in my experience, you'll have far less trouble with difficult fasteners if you use a square tip driver. Now, once you have the top opened, you'll be able to see the water inlet valve. It looks like this with blue and red tubes extending out the back of your washer. These are color-coded for hot and cold water supplies. And right next to this valve body is a tray that has a concrete counterweight in it that dampens vibrations. But this device just happens to be right in the way of your repair, and although it's possible to do this without removing the part, it's much easier to remove these 4 fasteners and slide this tray to the side away from your work area. Once you have that thing out of your way, you'll want to use a slotted screwdriver, and with the blade, press in on these tabs on this white plastic frame while gently pulling from the outside. I think there's a total of 8 tabs altogether, but with a little finesse you should be able to remove this part without causing any damage to it. Now you'll need to unplug these 2 wiring harnesses and set them out of the way. And this thing has 3 screws that hold it in place, and one of them is a bit of a challenge to get to because it's on the bottom. I had to use a stubby Phillips screwdriver, but these other 2 aren't so bad. You really don't want to drop these because they'll be very difficult to find. Perhaps spreading a cloth under your work area would be a great safeguard. So once you remove these 3 screws, you will have to wiggle and pry this thing out. If you use a screwdriver to pry with, be sure you work your way around a bit at a time so you don't cause any damage. Now this thing has 5 gaskets on it depending on the model, and these gaskets are super expensive and don't come with a new part. So you'll have to transfer them over to your new valve body. I think at the time this video was published, they ran about $35 a piece, so be very careful. You don't want to lose one. Once you have the old valve out, remove the gaskets and place them on the inlets of your new valve. Now orient your new part and fit the red and blue pipes through the back of the cabinet and line up the gaskets with the holes that they fit in. A little petroleum jelly or other lubricant might be necessary if you find it too difficult to get all these gaskets to seat, but don't use a lubricant that's going to degrade the gasket material. I just take my time and wiggle and push it until I have them started, and then I finger tighten the 3 screws and then go around each one making sure to tighten them all at the same time. And once you have the screws tightened, you can snap that white plastic piece back in place from the back and reconnect the wiring harness. You want to replace the top, connect the hoses to the valve body. I always turn the hose connectors counterclockwise until I feel the threads bump. Then I know when I start to tighten clockwise, those hose threads are going to be lined up correctly, and they're less likely to strip the plastic parts. Now you want to slide the machine back into place and give it a test run. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, and if I've earned your subscription, I thank you. Chip out.